Mumbai, India. As the day draws to a close, we meet a very special group of women for a very special night. Until recently, accompanying 7 young female bikers through the night would have been unimaginable in India. Amruta and her friends have distanced themselves from traditional Indian female roles. The streets belong just as much to them as to the men. Amruta Mane is the clear leader of the group.
Yes, one of the premium food. And just in case we are stuck in the traffic, we'll make sure that there are few stretches.
Some last instructions before they get going. And then they're off into the night of this megacity. Formerly called Bombay during colonial times, Mumbai is India's economic powerhouse, the financial and cultural metropolis of the most populous country on the planet. An estimated 22 million people live in and around the city. Nobody knows the exact number. It's a melting pot of Asian cultures and religions. Open-minded and liberal, it's the city of hope and dreams. It's loud, wild and colorful, and full of contradictions. If you make it here, you'll make it anywhere, as the saying goes. People here say Mumbai is the New York on the Arabian Sea.
Are you comfortable?
I'm very comfortable.
You've already been to Mumbai anytime? Or this is your first visit?
My first time in Mumbai.
Oh,
so
lovely.
you've been the first time experience, you say?
Our first impression? The city is loud and lively. Everyone is rushing around at night, always on the move. Our route takes us past Mumbai's largest flower market. People are at work here almost around the clock, every day, all year round. Flower blossoms are an important business. Scents and colors fill the market hall.
We make garlands out of them. There's no fixed price. It's between €1 and €1.50 per kilo. People use them as gifts to the gods.
Gifts to the gods, of whom there are many here, and they obviously all have different tastes. The flower blossoms are meant to appease the gods. They're sold as garlands or bouquets in front of the city's thousands of Hindu temples.
This is our love for them. This is our love for them. They love this path, that's why. They give blessings to us, right? That's enough for us.
Faith and religion are very important, even in this modern Indian financial and economic metropolis. Whether rich or poor, everyone hopes for blessings from the gods for a better life after rebirth. Huge roadside billboards decorate the sides of the roads on our way to the south of the city. They feature a woman unique to Mumbai whose image can be seen everywhere in the city, where everything also seems somehow to be about business. Ecstatic singing and wild dancing on the veranda of a villa worth millions of euros. The audience is mixed. Rich and poor, old and young, men, women, and third-gender hijras. The great mother they're praising today is Radhe Ma, a farmer's daughter from the state of Punjab who made her fortune here in Mumbai as a healer using her keen sense of marketing. She's made it right to the top, as high as anyone here waiting for an audience with her tonight can imagine.
For me, she's my God. For me, she's my God.
I cannot imagine my life without Radhe Ma ji. I can end my life if she's not there in my life.
Tali Baba, whose real name is Gaurav Kumar, is a combination of court-martial, master of ceremonies, and social media manager for the goddess, who's running behind this evening. Late in the evening, he calls everyone to dinner. Lentils and rice first for the saints, and on top of that, a few rupees, about €2. Their goddess is showing her generosity. After the meal comes the blessing.
You from German television will go up first to receive the blessing. Whatever you have wished for will be fulfilled. No one leaves this temple disappointed. Everyone goes back fulfilled and blessed.
They let us set up our cameras in the goddess's throne room. There's lots of gold, brocade, red velvet, and a number of portraits. The master of ceremonies announces her arrival. The goddess is coming for her interview. She walks past us, straight to her throne. We quickly connect up the mic. The tension rises. What will it be like to speak to a deity?
My first question would be, how would I address you properly?
I love the color red. I really like it.
I like red color.
Okay, communication is trickier than we hoped. Let's try another question.
Radhima, can you explain to our audience in Germany your spiritual journey to become a godlike advisor to your followers?
As a child, I fell in love with God. The longing to love God came from God Himself. He continually increases our love for Him. He creates love. My love grew stronger and stronger, and finally we were one.
That was a bit better, but let's try something less formal.
She wants to maintain the privacy and make it confidential.
You are here in Mumbai. What does Mumbai mean to you?
Nature sent me. That's the first thing. Second, the weather in Mumbai is good.
I like weather of Mumbai.
And so we learn, quite incidentally, that even for a deity there are mundane things that make life worth living.
There's so many people following you now. Have you any explanation why they follow you?
There is definitely a connection between them and me.
And how can you feel the connection between them?
With meditation.
The faithful wait patiently outside the throne room. The goddess makes her final preparations in the sacred room of blessings. The doors open. Only those wearing a red headband with the words "Hail Radhe Ma" written on it are allowed to enter. Inside, things get a little strange. Now the goddess is sitting on a bed. In a room reminiscent of spaces most gods have probably lost touch with, Radhe Ma welcomes her followers on a large red bed. Her followers are devoted, ecstatic, and full of passion. They bring gifts for the deity: friendship bracelets, silk scarves, and of course, money. In return, a smile and a blessing. Live streamed, of course, because the deity, who is showered in red roses, is also a social media influencer. She waits in bed until the last believers have been blessed. They cheer once more and sing with joy. Then their deity leaves the sacred space in a somewhat unconventional manner.
Like if you're riding such a heavy machine and then getting out of the traffic is a challenge every time. So you actually can't speed up more in Mumbai because you get such surprises daily.
Why?
Because if you just go on 60 and then if you're not able to control it, you're just going to dash.
The maneuvers of the three-wheeler tuk-tuks, the auto rickshaws as they're called here in Mumbai, are often particularly hair-raising. They're an integral part of the street scene in the never-ending cacophony of traffic. If you want to get a feel for Mumbai, don't miss out on a ride in one of these mini taxis. You'll need nerves of steel, though.
Driving in the opposite lane or changing lanes is the most dangerous thing you can do.
Anil Pathak came to Mumbai from the countryside 30 years ago to seek his fortune, like so many others here. He says Mumbai is the city of cities where you can earn good money, as much as 20 euros a day. He prefers to drive through the night.
Mumbai is called the Queen of the Night. The later the night, the more beautiful it becomes. A big difference to all other cities.
What makes Mumbai so special for him?
Bollywood is much better than Hollywood. Bollywood is the best here. All the actors are just great. I've seen Salman Khan, so Aditya Pancholi. I've seen many of them. They always go to five-star hotels. Unfortunately, I haven't had anyone in my car yet.
The film industry in Bollywood is by far the largest in the world. Nowhere else are more films produced than here in Mumbai. Glamorous and self-confident, its stars are worshipped like gods and make a strong showing at prominent galas. Rochelle Pinto, editor-in-chief of Indian Vogue, tells us about it.
Bollywood and Vogue have always been great friends because, of course, our celebrities and our actors, they're trendsetters. Everyone's watching every move, you know, right from where they go, when they go to the gym, to the airport, whatever they wear makes a real big splash.
Sometimes wild, sometimes bold, often elegant. The scene exudes confidence. India's haute couture has long been going its own way.
And this color in India, we call it Rani pink because it's a pink that's quite unique to India. And this is obviously Indian embroidery, and she's paired it with this jewelry piece which we call the Haath Phool, which is, you know, a bracelet and a ring that's connected. So I would say this is how you can see the difference between a Vogue India and a, you know, an international Vogue.
How important is Mumbai for Vogue itself?
When I went to Berlin many years ago, they told me on one of the tours that we did that Berlin is poor but sexy. And I like to think of Bombay in the same way. You know, it's not the most attractive city when you look at it, but it has the best energy in India. And it really is a city where minds come in. We have the best minds, the best creative energy, and people are always creating something.
Drag artist Zeeshan Ali, or Zeesh for short, is among the creatives who have made it onto the cover of Indian Vogue. We meet them at one of their favorite places.
We don't walk around in bikinis here, sadly, unlike Goa. But you'll find families sitting around having a picnic. You'll have friends sitting around enjoying. There are dancers who come dance around, local artists, then lovers sit on corners, make love. Because in Mumbai, obviously, not everyone has the affordability to have. These are the safe spaces where they can just be themselves and make love.
Most do not come to make love, but simply to relax with their families from the stress of the city in the evening after work. The air is filled with the overwhelming aroma of various spices. Pav bhaji is prepared here in large pans. Vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, and beans are mashed beyond recognition and served with a bread roll, without which no meal here or in Mumbai would be conceivable.
Butter, bread, with pav bhaji.
Pav Bhaji. Is it very Mumbai? So the Mumbai food?
Yes, Mumbai special food, pav bhaji.
You can dip it and you. Oh, you're hot. So hot.
And these rolls come from Dharavi, one of the largest slums in the world. It's thought that around 1 million people live here. It is by far the liveliest place in the city. A wild jumble of smells, sounds, colors. Dharavi is often the first port of call for people from all over the country who come to Mumbai in search of a better life. The blockbuster movie Slumdog Millionaire, which won 8 Oscars, was filmed here. Dharavi is also where most of the bread rolls come from, called pav, which keep Mumbai running. There are many small bakeries in the narrow alleys, one of which has been owned by the Khan family for 30 years.
We are from 30 years, past 30 years.
Past 30 years?
Yeah, my daddy was sitting here.
Really?
Now my daddy is...
retired?
Yeah, retired. And
so what changed in the past 30 years the most?
I have been here for 9 years. It was good business here. But nowadays it is, day by day, it is becoming low.
Why?
There are many competitions. There are many bakeries in Dharavi also.
Except these mixing machines, baking here has not changed for hundreds of years. There's no need for electronic scales. Everything is practiced. Every move is precise. Baking continues throughout the night until the early hours of the morning. Once the wood-fired oven has been preheated to 200 degrees, everything here runs like clockwork.
How many of these do you do every day?
Every day we make 1,000 ladi.
1,000 ladi?
Yeah, 1,000.
A ladi is a baking tin. 12 rolls, 1,000 ladi. That's 12,000 rolls per night under difficult working conditions. All for a wage of just under €5 a day. And yet the workers here are happy because these wages are only possible in Mumbai. The minimum wage here is €4.30 a day, higher than in the rest of the country. Back at Juhu Beach, a young woman struck up a conversation with Zeesh.
He is gorgeous. I just told that lady there that he's a fashion designer. He must be. I don't speak much English, just a little bit, because I didn't go to school. But I learn here. When people like you come, I get to learn a bit. I just speak a bit at a time.
So what are you doing here?
I've been making henna tattoos for 15 years.
And how much do you earn in a day here?
It's like 800, 500.
Zeesh decides to get a henna tattoo stamp, the divine trident, a symbol of creation, preservation, and destruction.
For me, colors are something that really excites me. One of the reasons why I love Juhu is because of all the colors that you see people wearing multiple colors. Oh, look at the women over there. Such beautiful colors. So I think that's something that always excites me.
Zeesh is making waves in the Indian fashion and culture scene. Muslim, drag queen, model, non-binary, neither man nor woman. They also see their role as resistance against a culture that is still shaped by the moralism of Victorian British colonialism.
Due to the Britishers, ideology shift that they brought in India, prior to that, queer people were celebrated. In courts of kings and queens, even if you see the Khajuraho temples, you will have beautiful illustrations of, people making love or beyond gender and sexuality. So that was always the case in India. But after the Britishers, things shifted.
Homosexuality was a criminal offense in India until 2018, a law the British colonialists had previously introduced.
Now we're fighting for marriage equality, which is still a struggle in India. Because as much as the yesteryear Indians were smart, intellectual and open about all of this, the current older generation that exists in India are still holding the Britisher ideology.
Fashion as rebellion against an imposed culture. Zeesh identifies as an artist, activist, and provocateur.
The idea was to go to the flower market early in the peak hour of morning in drag, because that was also such an act of rebellion, right? It was just a very interesting moment. I was standing there in full drag, and there was this Muslim guy comes, walks, gives me a look, very sharp look, and turns around and walks by. And then another Hindu person comes, gives me the same exact sharp look, and makes a face and walks by. And I turn around and give a look.
Zeesh believes that coming out and asserting oneself as a queer person in India is still very difficult. Only Mumbai is different in this respect.
Mumbai has a lot more space when it comes to different kind of things that my drag journey can go from clubs to magazines to movies to like streets. You know, I think Mumbai has a lot more to offer when it comes to any artistic expression in that way.
Zeesh has plans and needs to leave now. So let's continue with Amruta and her motorcyclists in the south of Mumbai to find out more about the colonial history of the megacity. It's impossible to miss who used to rule here for a good 200 years. Today, it is the Indian financial elite who live here. South Mumbai is the old Bombay built by the British colonial rulers. This is where the glamorous and the super rich live. It's a world of its own. Bombay Gymkhana Club, probably the most exclusive club in India, is like a clearing in the middle of the urban jungle. It's normally not accessible to the public. Today is an exception, but some rules apply.
You generally cannot walk in with slippers. You can wear a national dress, but you can't like wear a kurta, which Indian men wear, you know, national dress, and jeans. You know, that's a strict no-no.
Sanjeev Saran Mehta, the president of the club, gives us a tour. He's very proud of it.
It's 150 years old. It was the first one of the blocks, one of the oldest, and it's got multiple sports. It has a rich history. Rugby was played first over here. We conducted the world's second oldest hockey tournament, the Aga Khan Hockey Tournament, which is a very legendary, iconic tournament. And of course, the first test match in cricket. Cricket so big in India, but it all started here at this very own ground.
The club was founded by the British colonial rulers as a sports and leisure club for soldiers, colonial officials, and their families. Only British people had access. That changed after India gained independence in 1947. Today, the club is home, for example, to the Indian national rugby team and its junior players. However, it has remained exclusive. Its members are among the richest and most influential people in India. The admission fee is 100,000 euros, or rather, it used to be.
Well, we've not opened membership for a very long time because we are already quite full. So unless you're a member, son or daughter.
To demonstrate just how exclusive the club is, the president tells us a story. A man from the club approached him and told him that he wanted to get divorced and asked for advice, which he gave him.
A few weeks later, I met him and I joked around and I said, so I hope you're happy, I hope you're not sweet. He said, yes, man. I don't think I'm going to, I love my wife, love my kids, family and all. Because otherwise, he would have lost his membership. I mean, he won't have. And he wasn't a member. He was dependent on his wife who was a member.
The club is an oasis in the middle of the city for games and sports, relaxation and socializing, right in the center, yet far away from the rest of the wild metropolis, with the noise of the megacity just a murmur in the background. When asked what the biggest challenge for the club is at the moment, the answer is surprising.
global warming where weather trends are changing. The monsoons traditionally, by the first, second week of June, they used to hit Bombay. Now this year, out of the blue, it came earlier, much earlier, almost 3-4 weeks earlier, so everyone was caught off guard. Like our football matches, like our cricket matches, they got washed off. But it happened across the board, everywhere.
It's getting late on the ride through the megacity. Amruta and her bikers are taking a break. Even in the middle of the night, it's still hot, around 30 degrees Celsius.
How was the ride?
It was good and quite exhausting.
Why so exhausting?
Because of the traffic, of course.
Driving with these shoes?
It's not about the shoes. I'm quite comfortable with the shoes.
When you get stopped by police and you put off your helmet, what do they think then?
So when I remove my helmet, then they, oh, you are a girl, where are you from? And they check my DL and everything. Like, how can you ride this heavy bike? So I just tell them, I'm not carrying on my head. So of course, yeah, it's easy, you can fly. So yeah, that's how. So not a problem.
It's still rare to see young women riding large motorcycles in India. Amruta and her friends are part of a new generation of women who are confidently looking ahead and no longer willing to let others determine what they can and cannot do.
When she came in my life, a lot of people used to tell me that, hey, you know, girls are not supposed to ride a bike. You rather ride in Vespa, like you said, yeah. And it's too heavy. And I was always like, a machine doesn't know whether it's a man who's riding or a woman who's riding, then why discriminate?
Amruta and her biker friends want to shape a new image of women in India. Mobility plays an important role in this.
She also have to get independent on the motorcycle, for the mobility also. She should not be dependent on anybody in that case.
We'll hear later how Amruta plans to shake up and modernize Indian society. First, we continue on our way as the women on wheels take us to a place that is unique in the world. In the middle of the city, between modern skyscrapers, just a few kilometers away from the Club of the Rich and Beautiful, the largest outdoor laundry in the world, Dobi Ghat. For around 140 years, they've been washing dirty laundry from hospitals, hotels, and private households here. There's a very simple reason why people have their laundry done here, even today in the 21st century.
Some people may have a washing machine but no water. You don't get as much water nor as clean water from the tap.
Where do you get the water?
We get the water from the city administration. They supply it for Dobi Ghat.
So many houses don't have water in them.
No, they don't get that kind of water. We use the same water for drinking and washing.
Officially, Mumbai's water is clean enough to drink. But there are several snags. Millions of people are not connected to the mains water supply and get their water from supply trucks. The quality and supply vary greatly depending on the quality of maintenance of the mains network. In Dobi Ghat, the city administration has ensured that everything is in order, because the washers here are really needed in the city.
We wash approximately 450 items per day.
450 pieces? All on your own?
No, there are 3 of us working, me, my son, and my wife.
7,000 laundry workers and their families live and work in Dobi Ghat, united in a cooperative that has a degree of bargaining power with the city administration. Most of the people here are migrant workers from other provinces of this vast country who have come to seek their fortune in Mumbai, often going back generations.
First, my grandfather came because there was no work in the village. It was even difficult to find food. When my grandfather came, my father later came to Mumbai as well. After that, our situation improved, so we settled here. Now things are fine.
Laundry is washed, dried, and ironed around the clock in Dobi Ghat, with more than 100,000 items of laundry processed every day. How much can he and his family earn here on average each month, after all costs have been deducted?
1650.
Around 15,000 or 16,000 rupees.
1,000.
15 to 16,000 rupees. That's about 150 euros per month. Some of it goes to parents and family in their home province, but most of it is invested in their children's education.
People in the higher castes have it better. We belong to the lower castes. Nevertheless, we continue our lives with God's grace. What else can we do?
Resigned to their fate, they accept their role in society. But Mumbai gives them opportunities within their predetermined role that they would not get elsewhere in the country.
Mumbai is number one, right at the top. In Mumbai, there's no stress with others. It's clear. If you work, you get money. If you don't work, you don't get anything.
Right.
Those who work hard will get their chance in Mumbai. That's the promise this city offers.
I compare it a bit to New York in terms of energy. When you're in Mumbai, everyone is busy doing something. Everyone is working or doing something. It's a very lively city, and it has this energy.
Daniel Bauer from Franken in Germany is one of those who have made it in Mumbai. He's one of Bollywood's superstars, not in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. For almost 20 years, he's been shaping the style of the Indian film industry.
When I came here 18 years ago, I think I did 250 magazine covers. I worked with everyone in the film industry, with every actor, with every actress. And I think I brought something new to the market here because I was one of the first artists to come over here. When I arrived, everything was, how should I put it, full makeup, thick makeup, and I just brought in the natural look, a little more international, and I think that made an impression.
It costs around 2,000 euros to have their makeup done by Daniel Bauer, and yet he is inundated with work. He's the man who has shaped and influenced the Indian ideal of beauty over the last 2 decades.
It's a big market here. People are fascinated by makeup, and that's because Indians like it a lot, and Indian women like glamour. So when you watch all the Bollywood movies, everything's very glamorous, very pretty and beautiful.
But because India is a big country, everyone wants to look like the stars of Bollywood, and he can't be everywhere at once. Daniel Bauer founded a makeup academy with branches in Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi, and here in Mumbai. His courses cost 6,000 euros, which is a fortune in India, but still a good investment for the young women here.
The best living as a makeup artist is in the bridal industry. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Customers pay the equivalent of 400 to 500 euros for the graduate's makeup skills. That's for a single session. Daniel Bauer's style is in demand, and here in India, money is no object when it comes to weddings, and not just for celebrities and the super rich. It's Komal and Akash's wedding day. Both of them are hospital office workers. Actually, there are 2 weddings, a Buddhist one and a Hindu one. Komal is Buddhist and Akash is Hindu. Unlike in other parts of the country, such interfaith weddings are not a problem here in Mumbai.
Mumbai always had a living spirit, a fighting spirit. They always had love for each other. I mean, people came from different communities, first thing. They always knew the hardships they had to face when they came here. And everybody started helping each other. And that is why Mumbai is what it is now.
Sonpal Singh is a professional wedding planner. He organizes 25 to 30 weddings a month on his premises in the city center. Today's wedding is a completely normal, average wedding here in Mumbai, and they are different from those in Delhi, for example.
Delhi is more colorful, more bigger, more extravaganza weddings Delhi has. Mumbai still has subtle. We still have a lot of low-profile weddings.
Only 500 guests are expected today. It's a small, low-key affair by Indian standards. Komal is being prepared for the Hindu ceremony according to Buddhist tradition. It takes a good 2 hours to get the wedding dress, jewelry, makeup, and hair just right. An Indian wedding is not fun. It's hard work.
What are your expectations, your hopes, your wishes?
I don't expect anything. I just want to give my 100%. That's it. I don't hope anything.
Duty rather than pleasure. The wedding day is the most important social event in the life of an Indian man or woman. Here, the families, bride and groom must show who they are, what they have, and where they stand.
And how much is the family spending for a wedding like this?
Nowadays, an average family, 40 to 50 lakhs.
40 to 50 lakhs.
Yes. That's an average part. That includes the jewelry, the wedding costs, the bride's clothing and everything. Average, you can go above, not below.
40 to 50 lakhs. That's about 50,000 euros. More than 5 times the average annual salary here in Mumbai. No wonder Komal wants to give 100% today. She has to. That's what's expected of her. But the groom doesn't have it easy either. While his future bride is still being prepared, he sits for 2 hours on the back of a horse that carries him 200 meters back to the bride in a wild wedding procession. It's like a scene from a Bollywood movie. Finally, the bride arrives, like a goddess from another world. And then the grand finale. What's the big difference for Singh when he compares Mumbai with other megacities?
New York City, I would put it as people from all over the world come and stay there. Dubai, all over the world, people come and stay there. They have the different cultures, they bought their cultures, they bought their lifestyles. In Mumbai, we have the whole of India here. Basically, it is a mini India staying in a small place called Mumbai. Very small place, Mumbai. That's how it works out.
A small place? Well, everything is relative. Amruta and her family are another reason why Mumbai is so special. A simple apartment building in the middle of the city. The apartment where Amruta grew up with her brother and parents is on the 5th floor. 50 square meters, 1.5 rooms. Everything has a function in this very small space. Her father came as an orphan from the countryside where there was no food and no work for him. He sought to improve his fortunes in Mumbai. Times were hard, and you can sense how proud the children are of their father, who managed to become a vegetable trader.
He came to Mumbai, and just under the bridges he spent his days for quite a few years. And he used to go to the common toilets to freshen himself.
Their mother worked as a maid. Their parents worked hard so that their children would have a better life and invested everything in their education. Mumbai made that possible.
So, whatever we are today, so we couldn't, how should I put this up? Both of us went to convent school just because of both of them. Because he couldn't afford, but he made sure that his children had a better life.
Today, their son is the social media manager for one of Mumbai's largest sports clubs. But it is Amruta who is the family's special pride and joy.
She's a really strong woman.
It all started when she wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
I searched on Google that is there any motorcycle driving school, and that too for women. So then I came to know that this is the gap that we have to fill in the society, because many of the women in the society are looking for such training schools where they are not comfortable with the male instructors but more comfortable with the women instructors.
At the age of 21, she founded her first driving school, Women on Wheels, a motorcycle driving school exclusively for women. Today, at the age of 27, it has expanded to 4 driving schools. She wants to expand further from Mumbai to the neighboring province and then across the entire country. She's already trained more than 5,000 women, including many female police officers in Mumbai. She organizes women-only motorcycle events and trips across the vast country. And everything she does is about more than just riding motorcycles. She wants to help modernize Indian society.
I am the voice of many women in the society who wants that, who really wants to have that independence on motorcycle, or not just motorcycle but independence within herself, that yes, she can ride and she can actually go out and do everything on herself rather than depending on somebody else.
And so our journey through the night ends with a young woman and her family, who represent everything that Mumbai, this extraordinary megacity, stands for. Hope, courage and openness, hard work, and above all, a zest for life.